Simply amazing. In this video, I'm walking you through one of the most popular floor plans built by Highland Homes. This is the 608 plan, and to my knowledge, this is not a model home anywhere in Texas, but what you're about to see is this plan that looks like a model home, but is actually for sale. Now, I have to give a lot of credit to my clients who reached out to me over a year ago from YouTube that decided to buy this home with my realtor partner. Shout out to Liberty and Chris Walker at Real Broker, who are the listing agents for this home. But when we walk through the front door, as you can tell, it's easy to get wowed because you have this curved staircase. It's open to the second story. And the design features put in by the sellers of this home, along with the upgrades that were put in by Highland Homes, make this a fantastic combination that looks just like a model home, but is for sale at just under $1.3 million, or the exact price is $1,299,990. Now, there is so much to see in this home, like these vaulted ceilings in the main living area with those dark beams running across them. There are so many great design features in this home, like I was mentioning earlier, and we're going to go through all of them in detail and show you this home that's sitting on a large lot in the 90-foot wide section of a community called Santa Rita Ranch. Now, my name is Raj Sahu. I am a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm going to give you the perspective of walking through so many homes in Santa Rita Ranch with dozens and dozens of buyers. And I'll tell you right now, there are no homes that have kitchens that look like this one. We have the tall ceilings with those beams that we saw earlier, but take a look at the design features that are in this kitchen. They did two-tone kitchen cabinets where that lower cabinet wheat color is perfect and complements the lighter cabinets that are above them. And then just to provide a very fun accent piece, they matched the designer vent hood with those lower cabinet colors. Probably one of the first things you notice when you get out to this main living area. And then we have an apron sink that flows really well with the countertops that were chosen. As we look back at this kitchen island, notice the thick veins that are running through this massive kitchen island. What complements the countertops that were chosen here really well is the kitchen backsplash. Now, I know the kitchen backsplash is behind me, but you're about to see one of the largest pantries that's in Santa Rita Ranch that also has the cabinetry and the kitchen backsplash running through that pantry area. And before we get to that pantry, I got to show you this one more time. We're going to keep coming back to this main living area. I'm going to show you what it looks like from upstairs as well. It is simply incredible. And I'm going to do my best to keep looking up and showing you the ceiling height, because tall ceilings and huge windows is definitely a signature from Highland Homes. But I'm also going to tell you that you need to see this in person. This home looks and feels like a model home. And that continues in the pantry area. Take a look at the cabinetry that's in there. They got a wine fridge on the right side. Love the freestanding shelves down the middle that just provide a cool accent piece. Also matches up with the designer vent hood that we saw prior to this. And that's a good look at the kitchen backsplash that has some grays in it. It's very subtle and it's perfect with those countertops, because I think it plays really well with those veins that are running through the countertop. And then putting that kitchen backsplash in a herringbone pattern just provides another great design touch that's in this kitchen. Now, if you were to build this plan from scratch, this area would usually be a courtyard, but I think for most homeowners, they prefer something like this, which is a second study with so many different accent walls, built-in cabinetry. They ended up putting a TV in here. I think you could easily put a desk in the middle of this room and just use this as a study with those bookshelves and that TV right behind you as more of like a Zoom background if that was your preference. But I love the different upgrades that they have in here. We are looking off the side of the home, so you do have a little bit more privacy while still getting some natural light coming in from those windows. And then keep in mind, we still have a study at the front of the home. So this is what they call a second study option. That's why there's French doors that can close that up. I like how you can still see into this beautiful kitchen and the living room, and you're still open to the second story here, and you can see that right from your second study. Now, I mentioned the base plan currently is showing for the 608 a courtyard there. When I say base plan, there are so many different upgrades that you can do to these plans, both from a structural and a design standpoint. And you can build this plan from scratch currently in Santa Rita Ranch. But I'm going to tell you right now, the amount of upgrades that are shown in this home, you would be paying so much more than the current list price of this home. And if you want a breakdown of what that looks like, reach out to me. I've done a lot in Santa Rita Ranch where I've had 11 clients close alone just last year in this community. I've worked with almost every builder in here. And so I can show you what those plans look like from the base price to all the upgrades that you can add if you build from scratch. And this plan definitely has a lot of great upgrades, especially considering the price point. And this is a 2023 build, so it's just about a year old. Some of those upgrades we'll get to, like that cabinetry in the dining room with all those glass inserts. By the way, the kitchen had upper cabinets with glass inserts, so much room for fun design work that you could do all throughout this main living area. But what I want to show you next is next to this second study, which is the primary bedroom and bathroom. And as soon as we walk in here, you're going to start to get that model home vibe. And when I say model homes, so many builders build these model homes and they put as many upgrades as they can in the home. They stage it and design it so well where it just looks like every room is out of a magazine. And that's what this home reminds me of. Now that starts with the accent wall that adds a fun color into this bedroom. And then notice the window casing is this dark color that gets matched up really well with the fan that's in here, as well as a lot of the hardware that's on the cabinets throughout the home. Now I wanted to show you the ceiling height of this primary bedroom because it really provides that grand feeling as soon as you walk into this room. And then I also wanted to go back to the window casings. So many people, so many of my clients ask me about dark window casing on the inside of the home or the outside of the home or both. And they love that look because it provides that great contrast against the light walls that are throughout the home. Most people don't realize those are expensive. In fact, the listing agent of this home, Liberty Walker, and we work together on clients from time to time. I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the video, but basically I'm not afraid to bring in realtor partners when I know they can provide a ton of value like Liberty can. We'll talk more about that later, but we had a mutual client that loved that look of the dark casing, but the builder we were working with, it wasn't Highland, they only allowed it on the exterior of the home and only on the front. And even only just doing that one upgrade, that was several $1,000s. So for when I say upgrades, when I say model home quality, keep in mind all of these different costs add up. And that's where getting a home like this that has tile in a herringbone pattern going all the way up to the ceiling, a freestanding tub, a hexagon, dark tile on the floor, providing a great contrast in this primary bathroom. These are the types of upgrades that we often see people pay quite a bit of money for, and that's where you can get this for a move-in ready home in a great section of Santa Rita Ranch. What a fantastic combination. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about Santa Rita Ranch later on in the video. In this walk-in shower, of course, it has to have a rain shower along with the standard shower head. It has to have tile going all the way up to the ceiling. And I love this combination between the tiles. On the floor of this bathroom is a darker tile. It has a little bit of different shades in it, but not a whole lot of movement. But the wall tile has a ton of movement. And I love that combination. I often tell my clients when they're designing their homes, having a tile like that with a ton of movement is great to be complemented with a darker tile. In fact, I have a lot of clients doing like an accent wall in their primary bathroom, depending how it's situated in their bathroom. But I love what they did here in this primary bathroom where they have that accent tile along the freestanding tub. Notice how that gets matched up with the same color as the hand towels. There are some really good professional design work here in this home. That's definitely one of them, but I think those tiles complement each other so well. Now on this side, we have a large primary closet And then we're gonna head outside after this. There's still a lot to see. We have so much great design work on the first floor. We do have 2 bedrooms down. We have another study downstairs. We're gonna take a look at the dining room, the outdoor patio, and wait until you see what's upstairs. And actually, before we even get upstairs, there is a media room downstairs that I can't wait for you to see as well. Now, while we head outside to the outdoor patio area, I want to talk about the community that we're in called Santa Rita Ranch and the specific section that we're in and what's attractive about this section. First off, Santa Rita Ranch stands on its own. It's the top selling community in the Austin metro area. I've been preaching about this for years now, and it's because the developer for this community was not afraid to pour millions and millions of dollars into on-site amenities and into things that people want to have. For example, just down the street from this specific home, they have a huge amenity center with pools, has huge slides going into the pools, has an on-site gym, has a big amenity center that people can hang out and meet with other people in their community. But what's funny is there's a road that's getting connected south of here that's going to a middle school that's in the community. It's in a different school district compared to the one for this home. But next to that middle school is one of the newest amenity centers that's going to be twice the size of the current amenity center, have 3 pools, have pickleball courts, and knowing Santa Rita Ranch, they're going to have tons of events around that amenity center and around the opening of that new amenity center. Now, for this specific home, we have Georgetown ISD, and there is a new elementary school with Georgetown ISD right down the street from this home. And so that's the point that I'm driving home here, which is you have a combination of this great community that has on-site amenities, on-site schools, even a new amenity center that's about to open, that's twice the size of the current amenity center, and then you have these grand homes on huge lots like this one. That's the combination so many people are looking for when they're trying to buy their forever home in the Austin metro area. And that's why I have a client that bought a home down the street from here, actually on this same road. I have a few other clients that built from scratch in the 90-foot wide section of Santa Rita Ranch. When people tell me that they want a grand home, they want to host parties and have a lot of people over their home, or they have a big family, they want to have family and friends around them often, and they also want to be on a lot where they're not as close to their neighbors as other master plan communities, and they want an open concept home that's open for great design features to be shown in the home. I think of homes like this, and I think of sections like this in Santa Rita Ranch where there are 90-foot wide lots and these grand homes that are all still close to the amenities and the schools that are on site. Okay, moving on, we are in the media room that is actually downstairs. Most homes have the media room upstairs. I would venture to guess, I would say 95% of homes that have media rooms have it upstairs. This one is down. And what I'm hearing from a lot of my clients after they move into a home, or if they're currently living in a home, is they often say when the media room's upstairs, they just don't go into it as often. The reason, it's usually 2 reasons. Number one, towards the end of the day, you're usually just lurking about on like the first floor around your main living area. You're not upstairs in like a guest bedroom just hanging out, right? So you have this media room that's upstairs, but you're just never really around it as much as you think you would. The second reason is kids. So many people tell me they have kids staying upstairs, and if their kids' bedtime is 7 or 8 o'clock, which is what my wife and I have. We have a 9-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. We try to get them down around 7, 8. That often doesn't happen. Often we're trying to get them down and it's getting late, like 9, 10 o'clock. Sometimes one of them wakes up, they wake the other one up, right? If you're parents, you know what the game is like. But the last thing you want to do is have them sleeping and then you're upstairs and you're in your media room and it's loud, you're playing a movie or something like that, and it wakes one of your kids up. And that's why I'm having a lot more people say they love having their media room downstairs. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'll tell you right now, what people think about this utility room is they love the cabinets. There was a sink in there. There are even upper cabinets in there. We saw a powder bathroom prior to that. And I have to go back to cabinets. There are so many cabinets in this home. Even left and right of the TV screen in the living room are built-in cabinets. We saw cabinets in the kitchen with those uppers. We saw cabinets in the pantry, now the utility room. And we're also going to see them in the dining room right here. So many of my clients tell me they love having cabinets anywhere they can get them. The problem is going to be cost. When you're building from scratch, your costs usually go into flooring, kitchen, and primary bathroom. And those two factors of kitchen and primary bathroom are usually the cabinet upgrades. And so many of my clients tend to upgrade their cabinets there in the kitchen and primary bathroom, which you should do. And sometimes that doesn't leave enough room in the budget to put cabinets here, which so many people want. Let alone the glass inserts that are everywhere, the X shelving. These are all things that people want, along with cabinets in their utility room and pantry. It's just very difficult to put it into a budget. And I can show you so many budgets. I probably have upwards of about 60 to 80 different Excel or Google sheets that have a breakdown of upgrades in various floor plans across 20 different builders that my clients have built with. And I can show you how people are allocating their budget. Obviously, I take out my clients' names and any information, but I'm able to show a lot of the upgrades that these builders offer. And then I have videos of so many of these homes. I think I have over 400 videos now, with maybe 250 publicly. So, posted on YouTube. But if you don't know the numbers behind these things, it's difficult to understand how these homes are compared to each other. And I can tell you, if I'm comparing this home, which again has another accent wall, this is the second bedroom down, has an in-suite full bathroom. When I'm showing you later on in the video, there's actually a half bathroom upstairs. There's even a sauna that's negotiable in the home. And I don't think I even mentioned it earlier. The homeowner for this is actually including the fridge, washer, and dryer. And so anytime you see a resale home that shows a washer, dryer, fridge still in the home, keep in mind, if there's nothing specified about that being included in the home, then that will transfer with the seller. Even if it's shown in the pictures of the listing, it doesn't matter. In the state of Texas, that always goes with the seller. Here, they're including in the property, and that's exciting. In other words, there continues to be these upgrades that you see in the home. And being that I've looked at different budgets for building from scratch, these small items, even if it's just $300 here, $600 here, $1,000 here, they definitely add up to a large number when you start going throughout the home, including a lot of these upgrades that are already in here. And that continues in the in-suite full bathroom, where they did really good upgrades in here as well. And I think this is such an important space to have. So many of my clients tell me that they want to have a second bedroom down. Most of them say it is an absolute must-have, simply because they have aging parents, or they possibly might have aging parents sometime in the near future, but they don't want them going up and down the steps. And when I say sometime in the near future, sometimes we think, oh, our parents can go up and down the steps. My father is turning 80 years old next year, and he is fully capable of getting around. And the thought of my dad not being able to go up and down the steps is a bit terrifying on one hand. On the other hand, we have to plan for it, right? It is something that could happen in the near future, and we don't want it to happen, but it's something that we're planning for, and it's something that I always talk about with a lot of my clients. So don't be afraid to bring those types of things up. Sometimes the hard subjects are really important to evaluate when looking at such a big purchase like this. Now, what you saw there was a side swing 1-car garage. So we do have a 3-car garage, 1-car side entrance, and then 2-car garage facing the road. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we have 2 studies. So this is the second study, or what I would call the larger study out of the 2. What I typically see for a lot of builds, putting the study at the front of the home so it's away from the common areas, and they have some good cabinetry and freestanding shelves in there. In fact, I really like the design of what they have with the accent wall, with the different colors and the freestanding shelves and the cabinetry. Now let's head upstairs. I love the circular tray ceiling that's in there, the light fixture, this curved staircase really provides that grand entrance when you first walk in the home and keeps everything very open. And what I get from so many of my clients is they say they love the idea of a 2-story home to keep the home open, get these tall ceilings in the grand entrance, get those tall ceilings in the living room, but they prefer to have a lot more square footage on the first floor. And that's why I think the 608 plan, even though it's not a model home, it's very popular when people can see it like this, finished with great staging, fantastic design. Then they fall in love with it because they're able to see something that checks a lot of their boxes and shows really, really well. And I'm going to explain why I mentioned that. But first, we're in the game room area. There's 2 built-in desks on the side, which is perfect, especially when you have kids that need to get some schoolwork done. That's a perfect place for it. And then again, this is away from the media room, which is downstairs. So that keeps it as like a separate hangout area where you can watch movies. And then this can be like a play area or a place to get schoolwork done. And again, it's open down there in the living room. Now, this is really the point where I have to say, when most people can walk a finished home like this, then they say they love the 608 plan. But if you were to see this plan empty without staging, it might make you feel different compared to the model home for this builder. And this is the conundrum that I get with so many of my clients, where they walk these homes that are beautiful model homes, they're staged, they have all these great design work in them, and they fall in love with the design of the home. And when I ask them, do they like the home? The answer is yes. And I ask them why. And then I ask them, well, how would they enjoy this space? How would you enjoy that space? And if they don't have answers for it, or they start answering that they love the design work that's in the home, I want to tell them that, hey, you got to be careful. That may not be the plan for you, because you might just be falling in love with great design. But when we walk some of these plans that, like this one, that are not model homes, this is why I try to get videos of them, because oftentimes when you see them stage, they look fantastic. Like, take a look at this bedroom that they turned into a gym area. It does have a closet. Every single bedroom has an attached or close by full bathroom to it, including this one. And when people walk these homes, they see the staging, or this obviously this isn't staging, this is an actual homeowner's belongings of how they enjoyed this space, and it starts to resonate with so many buyers. All of a sudden they love plans like this, and that's where I try to get people to imagine what these plans would feel like when living in them. How would you enjoy them? And try to visualize that space. And oftentimes with builders, that's where you get plans that are rather underrated, because not many people are seeing them as a model home. And it's a big factor when it comes to pricing. Sometimes the model home plans can be fairly expensive, or the builder just keeps increasing the base price on that specific plan because it tends to sell so well, because everybody coming to the community falls in love with the model home plan. So you want to be careful with that. Sometimes there are some good opportunities for homes that nobody else can see, but you can see if you get the right visual of it. Okay, moving on, we have a couple more bedrooms and a couple unique features of this second floor. The first is going to be, we'll see a powder bathroom upstairs, which is great to have at this square footage. You know, again, we're close to 4,800 square feet, just under that. And at that square footage, having a half bath in both areas is great, especially if you have a party. There's people upstairs, there's people downstairs, people enjoying these different spaces. It's nice to have that half bathroom in both locations. Also, there are different structural upgrades in this plan. I'm not going to cover all of them just because this is already an existing plan, but just know that building from scratch, there's some different structural upgrades you can utilize, but a lot of them are already in this home. And that kind of coincides with what I continue to say, which are the upgrades in this home are considerable when you factor in what you're getting at the final price point. The second surprise is actually what you just saw there, the sauna. So that's currently not included. It's not affixed to the property, but it is negotiable. So if you like the idea of having a sauna, it's actually something that I've been hearing about so much from people that I need to try. I haven't gotten there yet, but I've heard good things. If you're a sauna type of person or want to get into that, just let the listing agent know in your offer, and that could be something you do in the transaction with an addendum to the contract, or even just something outside of the contract via a bill of sale. So it's actually pretty something simple, but if it's not something you want, then it will be removed. And obviously, if you want to enjoy these spaces as a bedroom, you can do that, especially with a full bathroom for each of the bedrooms that are in this home. Now, one thing I did want to go back to was something I said earlier, which is I'm not afraid to bring on realtor partners when people reach out to me. I want to give some clarity on what that looks like. The majority of my real estate business are people who reach out to me through YouTube. It's actually 98% of my clients come from YouTube, which is really exciting. And I'm so thankful for everybody who's reached out to me. What I do for everyone that reaches out is a bit unconventional. I tell them if I'm the best person for them or not. And I think for so many other realtors, not putting anybody down, but a lot of them say, well, they work everything in Austin. They do downtown condos, then they do new construction homes on the outskirts of Austin. They do investment properties, they do resale homes, they go everywhere around Austin. And what's always confusing to me is how can you be the expert of everything when you're just constantly in your car driving around the entire city? If you're not specialized in something, how can you be the expert in it? And that's what I've always prided myself on, is just sticking to what I'm good at and providing value where I can, and also just being upfront with people. For example, I had clients reach out to me a little bit over a year ago. They wanted to move fast, and in that particular month that they were traveling to Austin, I had a lot going on. I had a lot of closings for clients that I had already under contract. Also, some personal things. My wife was pregnant with our second child, was starting to get morning sickness. We had an 18-month-old at home at the time as well. So there was a lot going on where it felt too greedy to take on more clients, meaning instead of saying, well, they should work with me and only me so I can get the commission, instead I sent that client to a realtor who I trust, who's also the listing agent for this home. And I wasn't afraid to do that because it was the right thing to do. I felt like that agent was much better equipped at that time to take on more clients and knew that person's criteria inside and out. I just felt like that's a no-brainer. And that's exactly what I do for everyone, whether it's somebody like that who reached out to me through YouTube. I've even had my first cousin list their home, and they live 7 minutes drive away from my home. So I know their area really well. I helped them buy their home, but for the listing side, there was a listing agent that dominated their area. And I told them, work with that listing agent. Nobody's going to extract the equity, as much equity as that listing agent can, because they have great marketing in that area. So in other words, if you're looking around at the Austin metro area and you're confused on how to get the best options for you, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. I'll be very upfront and honest with you on who is best to work with you. It could be me and one of my realtor partners, or I'll just send you directly to one of my partners if they are the best fit for you. And then show some love for our clients who bought this home a year ago, and it has amazing design in this. Let me know what you think about the design in the comments below. And if you want more information on this home for sale, again, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video, or reach out directly to Liberty Walker, the listing agent. Either of us are here to help you. As always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.